from a lady called Carly J, who described how her automatic litter box called her cat, a beautiful 1-year-old Siamese girl called Moshi.
Yesterday morning, we woke up, me and my 2-year-old daughter, and I went to find my cat, and she was hanging from her litter box.
Hello everyone, it's been a while, and today we're going to be talking about some misinformation and these actually dangerous self-cleaning litter boxes. Now, to preface, I have a lot of pets. 4 of them are cats, and I've been looking into getting one of these self-cleaning litter boxes for a while. A couple of years, I'd say. I've been looking into them. But none of these ones that have harmed cats are the actual litter robot by Whisker. Now people are going after Whisker, thinking it is the same thing when it is not. A YouTuber by the name of One Man 5 Cats did a full review of the one that has been plaguing the internet. And to be clear, a lot of these say do not trust blindly, because basically they're not gonna be sued if your cat becomes unalived by the machine. But there is some that didn't have this warning.
At the end of July, there were a couple of posts in my self-cleaning litter box discussion group which shared a video on TikTok from a lady called Carly J, who described how her automatic litter box, her cat, a beautiful 1-year-old Siamese girl called Moshi.
Yesterday morning, we woke up, me and my 2-year-old daughter, and I went to find my cat, and she was hanging from her litter box. It had closed on her neck and her body was hanging out, and there was red stuff all over, like everywhere, and she was gone.
She didn't say what machine it was, but she did clarify in the follow-up video that it wasn't an actual litter robot, but something she had bought off of Amazon. She didn't name it in this video either, but she did in the comments. Her videos started to go viral, but then just a few days after they were uploaded, they were gone. So I started to investigate. I needed to know if this was real and if potentially deadly machines were being sold. I'd already found the one that she named on Amazon a few days earlier, sold under the brand Amstoy. Astonishingly, they even called it Litter Robot by Amstoy, using Whisker's Litter Robot font. This is absolutely not a litter robot.
Now, I'd say this is the closest thing to being a scam as it really can be, besides it actually claiming to be the one by Whisker, but most people probably don't look that deep into it. But since I've been researching these for a while, thinking about getting one, I can tell this is not the same one. People create off-brand things all the time, cheaper alternatives, but when it comes to litter boxes that are automatic, it's become very clear to me you don't want to cheap out on it.
In the review section, there was a photo of one covered in blood, stating that it had their cat. It wasn't under her name, but it had to be her machine. But after the TikTok videos were removed, that review no longer had the photo on it and was now positive. Then a few days later, the entire listing for the Amstoy was gone. There are also a lot of very similar looking machines under different names on Amazon and Wayfair in the US, not just under the Amstoy name. After looking at the photos and videos of them, I saw a potential danger. So I had to buy one to see for myself. As Amazon and Wayfair in the UK don't sell any of them, I had to buy it from AliExpress, which I strongly recommend never doing. And they didn't actually send me the one I ordered, which was identical to the Amstoy version, minus the ears. But what I received was still the same fundamental design, just with a bigger waste bin and no ears. It's one of the countless generic machines which are generally bought in bulk and branded by...
Now, the average person is not going to see this video. The average person probably is not going to know about the dangers. And now that a lot of people actually do know they are spreading false information. But just to be clear, do not buy anything from AliExpress, Amazon, or Temu.
A random company. That's why you see so many identical ones online with different names. I immediately started testing it straight out the box, as shipped, and had my fears confirmed. I don't even know how I'm supposed to free. The key thing that makes this machine dangerous is that the opening for the entrance is a single piece of plastic which is attached to the base. Now this is fine for a machine that rotates on the x-axis, but this rotates on the y-axis, so as it cycles, the opening closes. Because that piece of plastic opening is attached to the base and not split in two, if a cat gets caught in it, then there's no escape. If the opening was split in two with the top part attached to the top section of the machine, like the Furbulus for example, then if a cat somehow got caught in it, then the top would lift off and the cat could escape. I say somehow because it shouldn't get this far, as these machines have safety features which are designed to stop a cleaning cycle, stop the rotation if it detects a cat. The machine that I bought does indeed have 3 safety features. There's the weight sensors, an infrared sensor on the front entrance that will pause.
This one was definitely not made with pet safety in mind. If I was to guess, they probably threw something together just to put it on the market. They probably did not test to see if their sensors were very good at all. If a cat just happens to be poking their head in there during the cycle, it doesn't seem like there is a sensor for them to pick that up. And since I have 4 cats, I can vouch they do weird things. They poke their heads in and then just leave. And they don't do anything.
Pause the machine if a cat gets close to it or enters it. The third safety measure is the pinch detector, and this is very important. What it does, if during the rotation it detects resistance, then it's supposed to stop and move back. During these initial tests, I found that whilst the sensors would pause the cycling if the weight and or infrared sensors were triggered, this was only for a few seconds. Here, I'm pressing down, putting my weight on it, and covering the infrared sensor. Both indeed pause the cycling briefly. It should not resume like this. If a cat put its paws on the front and peered in, it should wait until those triggered sensors were cleared. Instead, it just pauses briefly and resumes, which is making both sensors redundant. Now the pinch detector should getting a sense of resistance from here and reversing, but it doesn't. It carries on. God, that really hurts.
That's what it does to a person's hand. So the stuffed animal, and you could see how much he was struggling. Now he's going to talk about why the person who posted the original video, Carly, removed all the videos.
Amsoy had given a financial settlement to delete the videos and the Amazon review. As part of the settlement, Amsoy would remove the machine from sale. Her husband was unable to delete the Amazon review, so he changed it to a positive one. I'm absolutely not judging her for taking the settlement. I don't know how much she received. She did say that it wasn't much, but she did it under the assurance that Amsoy would remove their product from Amazon. The thing is, she didn't realise that it's sold under so many different names and different variations of the same design. Removing the Amsoy version, that's going to make a very little difference. Carly also told me about a lady called Trish who messaged her to say that her cat had also been Am's toy machine, and she put me in touch with her. Trish's kitten Charlie was 3 months old and over the minimum weight that the manual states a cat should be before turning on autocycling. On the 19th of July, Trish got a video call from her 13-year-old daughter frantically telling her that Charlie's neck was caught in the closed opening. When her daughter showed her on the phone camera, she could see that it was already too late. Because she was far away at the time, Trish called the non-emergency police phone number and an officer came round, had her daughter wait outside and freed poor Charlie, placing his lifeless body on the bed. He was a rescue kitten and had been in his forever home for just 4 weeks before his life was horrifically cut short.
Now, this whole thing is very horrific, especially if you're an animal lover, you have cats of your own, especially if you have a family cat. This is why I think it's very important to still talk about and still inform people about, even though this was a very hot topic probably a couple of weeks ago. More are still being sold, ones that are similar. Like, look at this. Look at that. That looks like the exact same one on Temu currently right now. See, this is the exact same design that took the life of 2 cats already that we know of. I believe this is the one someone said, I cannot find the video where I seen it. It was about 2 months ago when I seen the video. Her kitten was caught. Her kitten's paw was caught in something like this and it rotates. I'm probably misremembering. It might have been caught in the door. Either way, any ones that close, I wouldn't touch it. But this is the actual litter robot. The one I am going to try at some point for my 4 cats. Like I said, I've been looking at this one for years now, thinking about it. It is really expensive for the average person. But if you're someone who has a lot of cats, who fosters, who has the extra money, then it might be worth a shot. And of course, do your own research, always. I don't think anybody who bought these off-brand litter boxes did super thorough research, but to be honest, the average person doesn't do thorough research. They just look at some reviews and probably just hit order. And I feel horrible to anyone who's lost a pet to any one of these machines. This design in particular, anything that closes, just don't do it. So I've seen a lot of misinformation going around about this, and they are actually attacking the litter robot by Whisker online. It's a very small extent. I've only seen it on Facebook, but still. See right here, there was a sponsorship by this person right here, Neko, litter robot. Lots of angry reacts on Facebook. And we have the first comment here. Great product. My cat went inside to pee and hasn't come out in a while, but I'm sure he's fine. 5 stars. But we know what this joke entails and what it's saying. And we do have some positive comments as well. But right here, this is it. It says, do not buy. It has been known to off cats. This is how the misinformation is starting. And, you know, they're going back and forth. And this person says, maybe it's just me then. But I've heard enough horror stories and have always been sketched by robotic litter boxes to pass on them. Not worth my pet's life. If you aren't willing to scoop a litter box, don't get a cat. I don't think people who buy automatic litter boxes are just lazy or trying to save time. It's obviously better for your cat if the litter box is cleaned a lot more frequently than someone can. Even though Am's toy is gone, I showed you earlier, there is another one on Temu right now that someone can purchase and could possibly harm their pet. please do not order any of these automatic litter robots that aren't the one by Whisker. That's the only one I feel very confident in saying that is probably safe. And please let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, I'd like to thank my channel members. It means a lot to me that you're sticking around, even with my sporadic schedule. I'm so sorry about the long hiatus. I've been taking care of business, and my 6 pets, 4 cats, 2 dogs. Most of them are rescues, so it's a lot of work. But my new puppy, she's doing alright. She's had to do a couple surgeries. I think I mentioned it on my Discord, but she's had to have another surgery after the one I mentioned before. So she's healing, but I'm gonna try to be more on top of my YouTube channel and also try to balance all the other aspects of life. So please expect to see more from me. And with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.